Alicia Raymond, the name echoed through the glass towers of her company like a symbol of success. She was powerful, brilliant, and untouchable. Her company, Raytech Solutions, had just been named one of the top tech firms in the country. But beneath all the headlines and the designer suits, there was a part of her life that felt unfinished. Her 8-year-old daughter, Emma, was struggling. Not with behavior or attitude, but with math, the one thing Alicia thought would come easily. Numbers were her world, after all. But for Emma, they were a storm she couldn't navigate. Every night, Alicia tried to help. Every night ended in tears, Emma's and sometimes, secretly, her own. As deadlines piled up and meetings consumed her days, guilt began to gnaw at her. She was a CEO of hundreds, but couldn't seem to guide the one person who mattered most. One Wednesday evening, Alicia rushed to pick Emma up from school after a late meeting. As she entered the empty halls, she heard laughter, Emma's laughter. Something she hadn't heard in days. She followed the sound and peeked into the classroom. There was Emma, sitting with the school janitor, Mr. Luis Alvarez. A man she had seen countless times pushing his mop and humming softly to himself. But now, he was holding a piece of chalk, sketching numbers on the board. And Emma, was solving math problems, smiling, and clapping when she got them right. Alicia stood frozen. Luis turned, surprised to see her. "Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Raymond," he said nervously, putting the chalk down. "She asked for help. I didn't mean to overstep." Alicia forced a polite smile. No. It's fine. I just didn't realize." Her voice trailed off as she watched Emma proudly show her the solved problem. That night, Alicia couldn't sleep. How could a janitor teach her daughter something she couldn't? Was it pride? Ego? Or was there something deeper she was missing? The next day, she stayed after dropping Emma at school. She waited until Luis finished mopping the hallway. "Mr. Alvarez," she said softly, "how did you get Emma to understand math like that?" Luis chuckled shyly. "Math isn't about numbers," he said, wiping his hands on his uniform. "It's about seeing patterns, telling stories, and believing you can solve problems. Most people fear it because they think it's a test. I tell the kids it's a puzzle. You just need patience to see how the pieces fit." Something in his words struck Alicia deeply. Patience, something she had lost long ago in her race for success. Chapter 2: The Lesson Money Couldn't Buy. Over the next few weeks, Alicia began to notice a change. Emma's grades improved, yes, but more than that, she became confident, curious, and joyful. Luis would meet her after school, spending half an hour teaching her through games and stories. And Alicia started coming earlier to watch quietly from the doorway. She learned more in those silent minutes than she had in years of leadership seminars. She saw the power of kindness, the magic of patience, and the quiet strength of humility. One Friday afternoon, as Alicia was leaving, she noticed Luis eating lunch alone in the maintenance room, a sandwich wrapped in paper, a book of math problems open beside him. She asked, "Luis, have you ever thought about teaching?" He looked up, eyes humble yet steady. "I used to. Back in my country, I was a math teacher. But when I came here, my degree didn't transfer. So, here I am. Still teaching, just in different halls." Alicia felt her throat tighten. That night, she sat staring at her office window overlooking the city skyline, the towers, the lights, the noise. And she thought, what's the point of all this if I can't use it to help people like him, people who quietly make the world better, one small act at a time? The next week, she called him into her office. Luis looked nervous, holding his cap in his hands. "Mr. Alvarez," Alicia said, smiling, "I have a proposal for you. Raytech is launching a community program, free after-school tutoring for underprivileged kids. I'd like you to lead it." His eyes widened. "Me? But I'm just..." "You're not just anything," she interrupted gently. "You're the reason my daughter believes in herself again. And that's something I could never put a price on." Tears welled in his eyes as he nodded slowly. And for the first time in years, Alicia felt whole, not as a CEO, but as a mother, as a human being. Months later, the after-school program became one of the company's proudest initiatives. Kids who once struggled now excelled. And at every event, Louise stood by Alicia's side, no longer with a mop, but with a smile and a purpose reborn.